Hey, it's time for the Kanye West news rundown for Wednesday, August 15th, 2018, presented by Watching the Throne, a lyrical analysis of Kanye West. I'm Chris Lambert, and let's get into it. We're going to overview Kanye's tweets first, and there was a good amount. First, he had tweeted out, Caden cop shot the kid. Caden cop shot the kid. That's what it is. Caden's the son of Consequence. And we'll get to that link once we're done with this. And then Tyler, the Creator, has a new video, See You Again, tweeted about that. Kimmel, he retweeted, Hurricane Kanye strikes Kimmel tonight. It's awesome. And then the full interview with Jimmy Kimmel, and I was there. If you have any questions you want to ask, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. And then Happy Wife, Happy Life. Yeah. I'm working on removing the word I. Correction, we're working on removing the word I. And he went on to use I a lot in the rest of his tweets. But I think that does get at the idea of dropping the ego, letting go of the ego, and being more aware of the whole, which is getting into the whole love and hate topic that Kanye's been discussing. And moving past the ego. Turn shame to power, which is something that he's talked a lot about, how he felt such a shame from his mental health diagnosis and the breakdown, but managed to embrace that, which is what the album cover gets at. I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. He said on the Jimmy Kimmel interview, it's not about opposites. It's not about, being bipolar. He can hate it, but he can also love it. What he said on the Jimmy Kimmel interview was about TMZ. When he went to TMZ, he was in such a ramped up state in that bipolar mania that what comes out is kind of like Tourette's. And it was awesome that people got to see him in that space and hear what that's like. Not that the event itself was like great and he stands by it, but that the learning experience from the events, what we take away from the events, the conversations it causes, that's what's awesome. So that idea of turning shame to power and this idea of being bipolar, he hates it, but it's awesome because of how much it teaches him, how much he grows from it, that we get to explore this together, that he gets to explore it. There's something there about, rather than being ashamed, finding power in it. Then he tweeted out this just crazy video. I think he was just searching things on YouTube, but it's this giant Buddha, which might be in Japan, given the text. Maybe it's China. Maybe China. But shit's beautiful. Highly recommend checking out that video. Really nicely produced. And then in response to Pornhub from the Kimmel interview, he getting a free lifetime premium membership. The rich get richer. The rich get richer. And then the guy that's head of blacked.com tweeted a thank you to Kanye. The DJ Clark Kent releasing the ecstasy joint. And then Kanye responding to him being stumped by the Trump question. And then Travis Scott's music video for Stop Trying to Be God. The Nicki album cover, which I'm pretty sure was done by Joe Perez, who's been on the podcast. His story you can find on the channel. Kind of funny that post Kimmel, Kanye's just been sharing things from other people. Like his friends, the people that he's mentored or had an impact in their career. He's really being giving, I guess, about the we rather than the I. Kimmel had a good response. Not every question warrants an immediate answer. Some answers need to be considered, and a talk show with time constraints is a difficult place to do that. I know how much Kanye cares, and I'm so impressed by what he is doing quietly and without fanfare to help those who need it. That's nice. And then people on Fox and Friends were talking about Kanye, and one, they presented Kanye still supporting Trump, as a talking point, and then went into the Twitter controversy, and they didn't mention that it was about the question that Kimmel asked Kanye. Do you think that Trump cares about black people or anybody? And Kanye pausing before answering, and that causing, and never getting to answer, and that causing all the Twitter drama. They just connected to people being upset on Twitter that Kanye still supported Trump. And then they have this former Tucson, Arizona police officer come on who was saying a lot of things that I was like, okay, yeah, I get that. I see that perspective. Until he said that he thought Trump was doing a great job and killing it as president. If Trump is killing anything, it's democracy. He is an autocrat, and the people around him want a white nationalist oligarchy. So no, I don't think Trump is killing it, and I stopped watching the video at that point. And then Kanye gets back with, no one is better than anyone. Operation Try Love. Take someone you don't like and say something you like about them out loud. Shall we give it a shot? I think it's impressive how much time Trump has dedicated to keeping his hair and how adamant he is at warping reality to serve him. Both things are very impressive. Excuse my cough tonight. We're no longer fighting for change. We're simply changing things. I think that gets at just the fact that people are at a point where that fight isn't necessarily like you don't necessarily have to fight for the opportunity to change things, right? Most people have so many opportunities and so many avenues due to the internet, social media. There's all these tools that you can simply get started causing change. And then deprogram, which is another way of saying break the simulation, get out of the habits that society has taught you, be more true to yourself, which I think still has dangers, right? Like deprogram, you're not like, well, fuck speed limits and these lines on the road. I'm going to drive however I want. I mean, there's still safety and respect and compassion, but maybe the idea that you have to have this car or that car, that kind of thing. And then Yeezy slides on vacay. Just fucking, I hope that's Kanye and Kanye legs, you know, with his feet being washed by the currents of the ocean. And that does it for Kanye Twitter. We can go through, this is the Consequence's son, Caden. If you want to watch that video, it's just 1:21. We also got later See You Again video, which I just realized you can see some of my targeted ads whenever I scroll through these things. Yeah, I want this Ames chair. I'll never be able to afford it because it's $5,000. But I think the chair's dope, and I want one. You know, maybe I will be able to afford it one day. Who knows? Who knows? This is a longer article about the distribution process of Yeezys and Adidas by Cam Wolf. Kanye West Yeezys are about to be easier to buy than ever. And it seems that on an investor call, CEO Casper Rorsted said that they were going to make the ability to get Yeezys more democratic, that production is going to ramp up, and we'll see what happens in 2018, 2019, rather than Yeezys being this hard as fuck to get thing. One of the funny things, this is all well and good for customers who want buying a Yeezy to be as easy as picking up an Adidas Superstar, but here's the thing, Yeezys for all is already close to reality, those willing to put in a little more effort. If you really want a pair of Yeezy 350s, some styles are available on resale sites for not that much more than retail. And then you go to stock, which is the link, and yeah, the Butters are $272. That's not much higher than retail. I think retail's what, like $250, $240, something like that. But then you go down, and the Zebras $500, the Blue $422, $474, $420, $850 for just I forget what those are called. But yeah, it seems just one style is pretty close to retail. So yeah, and even with this one, last sale was 272, so that's pretty good. It says that the 52-week low is 231. That's pretty good. So yeah, if you want the butters, you can get the butters, but everything else, good fucking luck. This was kind of dramatic. DJ Muggs and MF Doom Assassination Day video. Kanye West gets shot. And it's from DJ Muggs' album. And Assassination Day is the track. And you can see it goes through this kind of animated story where we see a guy prepare for an assassination. And he gets ready, he goes, and there's build up, Keep America Great 2020, these signs. Guy gets out, goes to a building, we see the face. Then we get the dramatic build up to who is he going to shoot. The crosshairs are aligning, it's coming into focus. We see the hand, we see the red tie, and then we see Mr. Kanye West. And then we see, oh. Well, okay, we see that. That's the next image. Kanye getting shot in the head, and it ends with Trump and Putin laughing. And some people have taken this as a very negative commentary at Kanye. Part of me thinks that it's more a check on saying like, yo, you think you have the support of these people, but then Trump and Putin are laughing at the end of this, which kind of implies that maybe Trump and Putin might have been behind the assassination. We know Putin likes that kind of thing. And we can probably guess that Trump would like, well, maybe that's going too far, but Trump has praised a lot of dictators and how the dictators handle troublemakers within their countries. So I think the implication would be that either at the most innocent, these guys don't care about you and the stuff you're doing is going to lead to this, or saying like, hey, these guys don't care about you and they would do this to you. So maybe you should recheck your loyalties. Or it could just be a fuck you to Kanye. I mean, it could just be that. People, Kim Kardashian films son Saint as he channels dad Kanye West and wildly dances at restaurant table. I saw this video, which they don't have the video, but I saw this video and I didn't put two and two together about Kanye talking about a 2-year-old who can't jump on a table, can't dance, etc., etc. And here Kim's letting Saint stand on the chair, dance, do his thing, and it's nice. He's really excited. But that video you can find on her Instagram. TMZ, I still love Kanye, even though he wants to bang my daughters. That's not a direct quote, mind you. She just said that Chris seems to find it all kind of funny and says she's got nothing but love for Ye. So that's that. Nothing too dramatic in that case. Again, the lines on ecstasy, while shocking out of context, within the context of the album, Ye, they were supposed to be showing that kind of mania, dark thoughts, these kind of thoughts that trespass the bounds of propriety. Setting up the contrast to the latter portion of the album where it's much more the beautiful thoughts, the proper thoughts, the empowering thoughts, rather than this dark kind of ugliness. So I think the Kardashian family, you know, knows what Kanye does with his music, gets to hear him talk about what he's doing with his music, can ask him about his music. So I don't think they're that concerned as other people are. MTV VMA's most shocking moments from Fox News. I don't know why. What's the timeliness of this article? Oh, just the awards are almost here. Okay. So, of course, Kanye and Taylor Swift is part of this. So, Fox including Kanye in ways that they have never done before, which seems What a world we live in. But it does show that Kanye is bridging the gap. That was a segment of America that loathed him for so long and just putting on a hat. Now they love him. They're including articles that include him. They're having people comment on how smart he is. Crazy. Crazy. 7 canceled, shelved, or delayed Kanye West projects. The Fader put this together. The Pastel clothing line, and this complex oral history of Pastel is absolutely worth reading. If you go to read one thing from this day of news, read that. You can't see me pointing, but oh fuck, read that. Is that what I have to do when I? Okay, that's what I have to do. Read that. The HBO sitcom. I didn't realize this was 2013. I saw a few clips from it. I haven't gotten to see the whole episode, but I really liked the clips. I thought it was that low-key Curb Your Enthusiasm hilarity. It was awkward as fuck. Kanye wasn't that great of an actor, but it was pretty good. And as you can see, that the opinions were divided by the reporters that saw it, from incredible to terrible, not as bad as you hoped. But that HBO sitcom never came to fruition. And I so wish it would have. The only one, video game, we were teased about that 2 years ago. And it even got talked about at E3 in 2016, but there's been nothing since. The Yeezys movie. This more than anything breaks my heart because we know this movie would have been fucking amazing. And yet we will probably never get to see it. Hype Williams, please, for the love of God, release it. Release it. The album with Drake, and then he also said he had 40 songs with Kendrick. Those things never happened. Cruel Winter still hasn't happened, and we thought it was coming in early 2017. We're way past that. And then TurboGrafx 16, aka the album ditched weeks before Ye. We still have we have a source that was on the audio engineering team who said that they got to listen to this album and described it as like Polo Pablo, like an old school Kanye with new school Kanye attitude. But that the themes were always the same, right? Like the album content, the sound of it may have changed, but the ideas driving it didn't. So I don't know how accurate this is in terms of this being like the album that was ditched and we're never going to get to hear it. I think if we never knew that happened, we'd just think that this was the album he was working on. And in a lot of ways it was, as he was always driving towards this concept, if we're to believe the source that we have. I don't think Kanye had an entirely different album. It's just that he updated it with recent events. We were told that it was always about reclaiming the ego and reclaiming who you are and dealing with mental health and that kind of thing. It's just with the TMZ stuff and the Trump stuff, Kanye had more relevant lyrics to dive into. And then the chart from Donda, which, what? That can't be. That was in 2016 that he released this? Man, it feels like it was so long ago. I would have said it was like 2014 kind of thing, like post Yeezys coming out in that time frame as he's starting to ramp up Donda. Not 2016. Weird. Okay. Anyway, there's that. If you wanted a rundown of those. A few more articles and then we'll be done. Luck and success aren't always random, and Kanye West proves it. This is from a contributor on Business Insider, Carla Starr, and she has written a book, Can You Learn to Be Lucky? Why Some People Seem to Win More Often Than Others. And this seems like a kind of an intro to the book. But she says Kanye West is a great example. People like Kanye have the mental resources to be their own biggest advocates and tolerate setbacks. So if you're looking for some practical, well, maybe not practical, but if you're looking for some kind of, productivity pump up or worldview that gets you kind of motivated and going, and want something that seems to discuss Kanye and take Kanye's success as a blueprint, then maybe this book is the book for you. Essentially, it's kind of getting into, from what I take from it, stuff like The Secret. Less metaphysical, like this will happen. Create space in your closet for the love of your life, and the love of your life will appear. Picture a feather, and a feather will appear. None of that stuff. But it's more that the more you see opportunity in things, and the more you see, the more active you are in engaging, the less a bug flying in my face, the more opportunities you have to then be successful. And it comes back to how much control you think you have. People that overestimate the control that they think they have of their destiny, of their career, of their life, seem to get ahead more, despite the setbacks that, they'll inevitably face. But they don't chalk it up to, I'm just not good enough. Meh. They chalk it up to, okay, what happened? What can I do next time? How can I have more control over this? All right, let's do it again and see what happens. And that makes a huge difference. Instead of sitting there and going, there are no opportunities for me. What do I do? Why isn't anybody offering me anything? It's saying, okay, I have control over what opportunities come my way. I need to go here to meet people. I need to do this to get more attention. And just finding that sense of control over what you're trying to do and what's within the realm of possibility, but also sometimes overextending yourself and seeing what happens. It seems like there's some okay things in here. But I don't know what the whole book is going to be like. This one's cool too. Here, IDLES cover Kanye West's Send It Up. I have no idea who IDLES are, but they were on BBC One doing an interview, and at 21 minutes into this thing, they do a cover of Send It Up that's really grungy, really like heavy, and pretty awesome. I'm a fan of it. If I could download a copy right now, I would. If I could buy a copy right now, I would. So give that a listen for sure. And then two more. Kim Kardashian. This is just so dumb. I wanted to share it because it's fucking stupid. What do I point with? Okay, this is fucking stupid. So it seems like every day there's a new situation between Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. There's not. Just the new situation is tabloids making up situations, which makes her latest Instagram post that much crazier when you really think about it. Read on for the latest. And then it's just a picture of Kim looking really like intense, kind of like contemporary gothic. And the tagline, I thought about killing you. And I thought about killing you. Those were the chilling words Kim wrote on her latest Instagram post alongside a very serious looking selfie, which I just feel like that's an absurd thing to try to say seriously. A very serious looking selfie. The word selfie in and of itself is not a serious word. You can't say something angrily, intensely, or seriously that includes selfie. Like, you just can't say selfie and have that edge. Like, take a selfie of me and I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. It's just like, did you just say selfie and beat the fuck out of it? It just doesn't work. So the question is, was this aimed at Kanye? The two have been really going through it lately, much of which he completely exposed on his album Ye. Kim even admitted to crying and yelling about him, sharing so much personal information about them. Jesus Christ. And just last weekend, he dropped a new single in which he raps that he would smash 4 of Kim's own sisters. That said, the couple may not be in the best places right now. However, the line is also the title of one of the rapper's latest songs, so maybe Kim was just bopping to her hubby's tunes as she took this selfie. Oh, you think? Maybe it was a sign of support, a sign of acknowledgement of her husband's work. I don't know. something positive rather than negative, go fuck yourself, OK Magazine. And then lastly, yeah, this is something that I kind of feel pretty strongly about. I don't like Ian Connor. Though, to be fair, I don't know Ian Connor. So I'm going off of hearsay. I'm going off of images, videos, really offhand shit. If I met Ian Connor, maybe I'd be like, that guy's very charming. All the allegations against him, I don't believe. But he's had 7 women come forward and accuse him of rape. Another 21 have reached out to people saying that he had assaulted them sexually in some way. And he's denied it. He famously, or maybe not famously, but there was drama a couple years back when he got in a big fight with Theophilus, so bad at saying that name, London, where they were kind of brawling, and he was brawling with, maybe it wasn't brawling with A$AP Ferg. But Connor essentially got kicked out of Kanye West's inner circle, especially following these allegations. There's a lot of like skeevy things going on, but he seemed to continue to hang around Virgil Abloh, and then ended up being part of a couple other Kanye fashion shows, and seems to have worked his way back into the inner circle of Kanye and fashion. So recently we talked about, there were photos from the Butter photo shoot where people were laying in bed wearing the shoes, and Ian Connor was one of the models laying in bed wearing the shoes, which caused this article just to bring up the fact that these allegations exist and what's it mean that Kanye supporting Connor. They kind of balance the conversation, the fact that he's never been arrested. Does that mean that of these kind of 28 accusations, there was never enough information? He has his story, they have this story. It's in that he said, she said kind of area right now, but still a heavy topic. Maybe too heavy to end on, but I guess that's where we're gonna end. Actually, no. Fuck, you know what? One last thing, bear with me. Russell Brand? Yeah, okay. So Russell Brand released this video today. Kanye in the Matrix. Are we really free to think about what we want? And it was so nice because in yesterday's video, I talked about how almost all of the media was going over just the pause and the cut to commercial, right? And none of the other things that Kanye was talking about involving mental health and breaking the simulation and how we interact with the world, all those things, which I think are deserving of conversation. And Russell Brand, you don't think of him and think of philosophy. He's always been kind of this dopey, shock jockey comedian that's pushing boundaries, but he's, by all accounts, a very smart man, and a man that can grow a hell of a beard. So he goes into a lot of what Kanye was saying and putting his own interpretation and spin on it in a much more philosophical way than how Ye went about speaking on it. So you're getting two sides of the conversation, the Ye method, and then the Brand, more of the highfalutin way of talking about it. But definitely worth watching. It's about a 6-minute video, so I'll link that down below too. And that does it. So thanks for joining for this Kanye West news rundown, and I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night.